And I had the social media manager of NASA, John Yembrick, and Sona Patel, who's the social media editor of the New York Times, in an event this week about why you need to add Hangouts to your digital strategy that was sponsored by PRSA as part of Communications Week. And so I asked both of them for their top advice to others who are thinking about Hangouts. And they both said that Google had come and had set up their Hangouts, and that they looked very much like TV, and that they were very concerned initially with the production value. So John Yembrick's top advice was, don't let the production values overwhelm you going forward. They're not going to be so produced. And pointing out, which is really critical, you have to have good connectivity, you have to be hardwired, you have to have good mics, but more importantly than anything else, you have to have content that people want to see. And he said, and I couldn't agree more, I quote, a lot of HOAs are an hour long and they put me to sleep. And he said they always try to engage with visuals, and he wants people to not be intimidated by the technology, to understand that people watching will be okay. If you make a mistake, that if something goes wrong, they'll go, okay, we understand this is new. And I agree with that. I mean, I think we've come a long way in our use of Hangouts here from where we started in episode, a year ago. And then Sona Patel's advice was, don't just do a Hangout to do a Hangout. Think about what you want to achieve. And she said to think of them, and this is clearly true, think of them as appointment viewing, that the vast majority of people really don't watch the Hangout live because most of them are on during the day. People are at work. When do they have time? And so most people go and watch after the fact. And so think of it as something that people are going to set aside time to view. And you have to make sure that it's just as interesting to watch the replay as it was to watch live. Of course, that, watching the replay eliminates the interactivity, but 2,000 people watching, that's a lot of interactivity. And, she said, figure out the logistics in advance. Everybody who's involved needs to know what they need to know and what they need to do, and you should do your sound check, and you should make sure that everybody who's involved has had the experience of being inside a Hangout and knows how to get in and knows how to find the invitation and has good sound, and that you've tested it. The logistics, you should have a clipboard and a checklist. And then what she said, which is so crucial, is don't forget about promotion. Don't forget that you have to promote it before, during, and after your event. And so at the Times, obviously they have the Times that they can promote it with in their website, but they promote on Twitter, on Pinterest, on YouTube, and that's what I did with this event. It was everywhere. And that is indeed what you need to do. So, the key thing is, like, Hangouts aren't a strategy, Google Plus isn't a strategy, Twitter is not a strategy. When you put all these things together and you have these tools and tactics that you can use together, you have something pretty spectacular.